Hi guys, welcome back to Sunday League to Champions League. My name is Chris, aka Big Will, and today we have an FA Cup quarter-final tie at home against Premier League challengers Everton, and we follow it up with a home game in the Europa League in the second leg of the round of 16 against Villareal. And we're pretty much in last chance saloon. We're being threatened by the media for the sack every single game, and it's just not happening for us at the moment. In terms of recent form, we have actually improved matters somewhat since you were with us for the Carabao Cup, and we actually haven't lost a game. We've managed draws against Liverpool, disappointingly against Southampton, and last time out against Villareal, a 2-all draw away. But we've managed wins against Watford, Leicester and Burnley in the Premier League. But we did um, have a really good win against West Ham in the FA Cup last time round as well. So we have turned form around a little bit. But again, we just seem to be lacking that little something. Now, Almada has finally started playing for us as well. He scored in his first three matches. He didn't actually play against Villareal in that first leg, but he has had a very good goal scoring start for us. So hopefully we can get off to a good set of results. And hopefully, if we can get into those European qualification spots, the pressure will ease slightly. Yes, we are required to qualify for the Champions League, but realistically, I don't think we're good enough. And to be quite honest, if we end up losing in the FA Cup here against Everton, it could be enough for us to end up not being the manager anymore, to be quite honest. Um, and especially if we get knocked out of the Europa League as well against Villarreal, I genuinely think that we could be out of the door. Guilherme here with a delivery into the penalty area. It's well cleared. Almada does pick it up, plays it into Sonogo, and now Siles into Romano. Now Guilherme into Sonogo, back to Siles again. Over the top for Guilherme, plays it across. There's Almada. 4 games and 4 goals for him. He really has settled in very, very quickly. I mean, he's got everything, Almada. I think he's going to be a really good signing for us. I just hope that we get to stay here long enough to be able to make use of that. He's 6'4". He's full of pace as well. So he's the complete package in a centre forward. And to get him for 33 million in January, I really think we've got a good deal. It's just a shame that he was injured when we signed him, and he's not been able to get into the squad a little bit sooner. Carter here into Hoistra, Carter into Andre Santos, Hoistra into Hopkin, and off the post from Everton there. Um, Obviously, if we can stay in these cup competitions, we have an opportunity to qualify for Europe. And yes, if we win the Europa League as well, we qualify for the Champions League. So we could get away with it despite our poor league performances, we could get away with it and get back into the Champions League. And I think realistically, that's the best thing we can aim for. But the second half of this episode against Villarreal is going to be the tough side of it. It's going to be extremely difficult. It was 2-all in the first leg, like I say. And the advantage is for the second leg, we are at home. So plenty to be positive about. I just hope that it'll go in our favour as Morrell cuts inside from that left hand side. It's a poor pass though, and Everton could break here with Nonto and Carter into Hopkin. Good tackle by Siles, and Capelli picks it up and he's giving it away. And you know, Capelli's actually putting some good performances recently, and every single time we bring him in for an episode, he seems to make a big error. And Nonto scored the winner against us for Everton in the Premier League match earlier in the campaign as well. And going toward the end of the season, we've got Newcastle, Everton, Brentford, and Chelsea. Chelsea are just outside of the European place at the moment. Newcastle, Everton, and Brentford are all in the Champions League spots. So we've got a very tough end to the season. So we need to really settle ourselves and figure out exactly where we need to be before those games because I think they're in our last 4 or 5 matches of the season, and it's coming pretty quickly as well. I might add, we've done a lot so far, and I'm just hoping we get the opportunity to stay here. And despite my Man City loyalties, I am really hoping we get to stay here. We've already set things up pretty well at the club. We've made some good signings, and gradually we're starting to see improvement. Although we have just gone behind here, Hoistra with the finish, Whitbread back in goal after his injury, by the way. Spybeck and Geertz rotated We rotated the two of them quite regularly because, well, neither of them were particularly brilliant, but we did see some good performances from them. So we have got able backups. Sonogo and Morrell are going to come off. Dahl and Medina are going to come on. Unfortunately, like I say, because of all these fixtures we've had, we're playing a game every 3 days. It's really, really intensive. Unfortunately, it's just not quite helping us going forward. Romano is going to come off for Rippis. He's struggling now. Both of our midfielders are struggling as well. Probably get Hayes on in that central midfield and push Bynert to the ball-winning midfielder. And Correa is also struggling, so Salvatore Ducey can come on for a rare appearance as well. And again, in terms of match stats, we've actually been very much the better side. Everton have had 2 attempts on target and scored them both. That is how unfortunate we've been today. Here is Hayes into Guilherme, cuts into the penalty area, and again, shooting off target. But we've had 7 attempts on target today. The fact that we've only scored the 1 goal, I think, is extremely unlucky. Medina here with a delivery. Almada at the near post, just over the crossbar. We're going to drop some encouragement because we have played well today and we have been very unlucky not to be in front, really, let alone the fact that we're losing. We should certainly deserve to be level. And it's a big mistake there from the keeper, Medina into Dahl, and the shot was quite poor, actually. It took a big deflection off the defender. It's a big error from the keeper, but Dahl just about manages to squeeze it in. But you'll see here, I mean, it was very poor from the keeper. Medina just laid it into Dahl, and his strike hit the defender, which guided it into the bottom corner. Very, very fortunate. And we're now sat at 2 apiece. And again, we deserve to win this match. We've been by far the better team, but we are showing some resilience at the moment. We're showing that we're not that easy to beat. And even with rotation, we're looking a little bit better. And with a couple of minutes left here, Ducey and Guilherme trying to exchange passes. Can we find a last-minute opportunity here? Bynert into Guilherme. Back to Ducey. Plays it forward to Guilherme again. Now Bynert into Ducey. Plays it forward. Guilherme not offside. Ducey back to Guilherme. It's a lot of passing down that right-hand side. Now Bynert into Hayes, and Hayes has scored a very deserved winner for us here. A very, very late winner. It's been a very good performance today, and again, we were very unlucky to be behind. We worked it really well down that right-hand side between Ducey, Dahl and Guilherme, and Bynert with the pass into Hayes, and he smashes it into the back of the net to find us an extremely late winner here. 96 minute out of the 7 minutes of added time, and we are into the semi-final of the FA Cup. It's a big, big win, that. And again, look at those performances. I mean, Hayes and Medina came off the bench, of course, as did Rippis. All 3 of them played pretty well. So another very good performance. We're starting to look a bit more positive in our play as well, and it really seems to be settling us. But again, you see there the Premier League table. We're sat in 10th place, and that is the thing that the board are constantly going on about. Same with the media. But we're unbeaten in 8 or 9 games now. We're starting to show that resilience and that little bit of form. And a 96-minute winner, big confidence booster. But in terms of the Premier League, we're 9 points off the top 6, the European places. So it's going to be difficult. It really is. But if we can find a way to get some important wins and try and keep this run going until the end of the season, we could have an opportunity. But that is a big, big win, that, in the FA Cup quarter-final for us. And going ahead, we certainly have an opportunity. We've got a few days to go until the Villareal game, so bear with me, and we'll come back for that game, and hopefully we can also continue our European campaign. Okay then, guys, here we go for the game at home against Villareal. It's going to be an extremely tough game again. And again, we're having to rotate a little bit. Still a pretty strong lineup from our point of view. We're starting to sort out a few problems within the squad. Youngblood wanted a new contract. He has got one. Guilherme wanted a new contract. He has got one. And we're starting to find our rhythm. Players are getting a little bit happier. We are having to rotate a little bit more today. I didn't want to play Humphreys at centre-back, but again, that rotation is required. We have got options on the bench. Dixon is in there for that centre-back role, of course, and Hadjo can also drop back. And we've got the midfield options, so a little bit of a risk in that manner, but we we could we can really do well here if we progress past Villarreal, who are probably one of the tougher teams left in this tournament, and we've already beaten them, of course, in the qualifying. We've got every chance that we can win this. Romano with a delivery, and that is a brilliant header from Lucas Correa. It's his 5th goal of the season. Incidentally, by the way, we've brought in a new set piece coach, Ramsey, who was our previous set piece coach. He has just dropped into a normal coach, and the set piece coach we brought in is one of the best in the world, and we've actually managed to poach him from Real Madrid. So a huge signing for our backroom staff. But Correa, when he's been playing at right back, has been scoring from these set pieces, and that is a big, big goal for us. Just 10 minutes into the game, we find ourselves in the lead. Villarreal dominating in the way of possession, though, which is a bit of a concern from our point of view. But obviously, with that early goal, we do have the lead on aggregate as well. So it's going to be pretty close for now. I'm just looking at the other games that are going on, the other fixtures. Um, I mean, yes, we struggled against Celtic when we were at Mönchengladbach, of course. I don't know what their score is against Schalke at the moment. Um, but I'm looking at, obviously, Villarreal are probably one of the tougher teams. And Roma, Bilbao, who we've already played and beaten in the group stage as well. Um, so there's every opportunity here. If we can get past Villarreal, I really think we've got a chance. I mean, FC Porto, they're leading against PSV Eindhoven. That's another one to keep an eye on, of course. But one game at a time. And I'll tell the lads we need more possession in the second half because we really do. 60% Villarreal ended up with by the end of the first half. And we really need to settle into a bit more of a rhythm here. Morrell losing the ball quite cheaply there as Jorgensen picks it up and launches it forward. Luckily, there's no pressure on Humphreys. A bit of a heavy touch, but he finds Yereshami quite comfortably. And now Romano down this left-hand side. Youngblood into Oscar Gluck. Can he play it across? No, he didn't. He shot instead. It was an impossible angle, but he hit it so hard that the keeper couldn't do a lot with it. I'm not too sure about his celebration there. He did a little dance, by the looks of it. But that gives us a 2-goal advantage now in the tie. And obviously, these 2 games were very, very important. If we'd have lost in the FA Cup or this game, we would have probably been out the door. And this is the thing. Everything's so finely balanced at the moment at the club, and the board have been losing a little bit of patience at times, but that's largely down to the Premier League. But if we can keep our progression, potentially come back with some trophies at the end of the season, I think it's certainly improvements. United actually won the FA Cup last season in game as well, so they do have previous, and it's something that we're going to have to keep an eye on. We've got every opportunity here of winning both cups, but again, getting ahead of ourselves, we need to really focus in. We should be quite comfortable at the moment, but I'm not counting my chickens just yet. Cook here into Morrell, Youngblood and him both getting in each other's way, really. Youngblood did sign that new 4-year deal, by the way. He's doubled his money on his wages. Deservedly so. He's put in regularly decent performances, so he has signed a new deal. And we're waiting to hear back off Guilherme, who also wanted a new deal. We've offered him one. He accepted the terms. It's just a case of the finalising, signing the paperwork, and that could be another one, which is sorted. Jorgensen making a good save there from Medina as we go into the last half an hour, there or thereabouts. And if we can get a third, as Gluck fires it in and Jorgensen just about parried it away, but if we can find a third goal here, it is job done. And we can look forward to a quarter final in the Europa League. And we tried to swing the ball in, and again, disappointing from that set piece. But Monaco are actually behind against NEC Nijmegen, and Monaco are at home there. I'm not too sure on the first leg results, of course, so it's something that all of these games look like they could be finely balanced, to be honest. But again, I don't know what the results were in the first legs. A number of our players are tired. We will start to get the changes on, I think, just for these last 10 minutes or so. Hadjo can come off. We'll get Biner on and Hayes for Cook. Just to get that rotation. Separach can come on in the centre. In fact, he can come on out wide. Sonogo can come on in that attacking midfield for the last 10 minutes. And Almada will get him on as well. And we'll just try and see out these last 10 minutes. It's a good free kick there. And I think Whitbread managed to touch it onto the post. Xerxes again with the strike. This time it goes over. And the changes hadn't actually taken place at that point, but they have now taken place. And we've got the fresh legs on just to see the game out. And again, a very much deserved win. We've dominated in terms of chances. Possession-wise, Villareal still ended up the better. But we have had another very dominant performance there. And again, we're starting to find our rhythm. And this is what we've been waiting for all season. The 4-3-3 works kind of, but not entirely. But this 4-2-3-1 certainly seems to have settled us into a rhythm. Nijmegen have knocked out Monaco on penalties. That's a huge result for the. I think they're based in. I think they're based in Holland. Nijmegen. That's a massive result against Monaco. FC Porto knocking PSV out by 2-1. Hellas Verona won 2-0 in their home leg against Bilbao. So that's a big win for the Italian club as well. And obviously we've knocked out Villareal. So looking at that, Bilbao, Monaco, that's two big teams that have gone, to be quite honest. And we'll just have a look at the other results as well. So Genk have knocked out Antwerp by 3-2. Good win for the Belgian side there. Roma, yeah, a 6-3 win on aggregate against Rangers. Celtic have knocked out Schalke pretty comfortably, 3-0. And Wolfsburg, after extra time, won 4-3 against Austrian side Rapid Vienna. So some of the big teams that we were worried about have gone. Roma, Celtic, we mentioned before. Wolfsburg, of course, could be a slightly difficult one. And FC Porto. So looking at that, if we drew Genk or Hellas Verona, I'd feel pretty happy, in all honesty. But yeah, not too bad. We've started to show a little bit of progress. And I mean, we play either Newcastle or Portsmouth in the FA Cup semi-final as well. So that'll be a huge game. So what we'll probably do, we'll miss out the first leg of the Europa League. We'll come back for the second leg of the Europa League. This is provided we're still in charge. There's no reason why we shouldn't, given our current form. Second leg of the Europa League and the FA Cup semi-final in our next episode. And hopefully, good times continue. So until then, guys, thank you very much for your support. Please like, subscribe to the channel. It is all greatly appreciated. I will see you all next time. This is Big Will, signing away.